Years ago, I 38F essentially left my fiancé 40M at the altar, committing the biggest mistake of my life. I haven't been able to settle down, and I want to contact him to ask for forgiveness. I feel like I'm under a curse. The title, basically. I got overwhelmed with everything, started second-guessing everything, and ran away from my own wedding, went to my ex-house to think. It's not an excuse, but I was young and inexperienced and felt overwhelmed by the notion of spending my whole life with him. When I calmed down, I called him, and he didn't want to hear anything I had to say, and before he hung up, he told me, "I hope no one takes you even close to the altar ever again." For the last year, I've been having recurring nightmares of that moment. It feels like a curse. I managed to move on somehow after 3 years. I felt my family resented me for putting them through it, wasting their money and making them the talk of the town, but they did support me. I can't deny that. I moved to start anew in a different state. It's been years now. I've had a few boyfriends, a generally happy life and a good job, but the boyfriends all disappear without a trace at the first mention of marriage and kids. Literally as if the earth swallowed them. I stalk my ex-fiancé. It's a hobby at this point. He's long married and has 3 children. I've never had what I had with him again. I'm convinced it's a curse, and I don't know what to do. I know I sound like a nutcase. Doesn't change how I feel though. I'm kind, fairly attractive, and I have a job. I really can't figure out why else I'd be alone at this age. I don't even have standards at this point and just wanted someone for companionship and to have kids with. After the 3rd boyfriend disappeared without a trace 2 years ago, I remembered what my ex said. I've started going to therapy then, which didn't help at all. Visited psychics and clairvoyants and all kinds of spiritual people. I feel like my only hope is contacting my ex and asking him to forgive me, and then maybe it will get better. My sister is discouraging me from it. She thinks he won't want to talk to me, but what else can I do at this point? Would it be horrible of me to contact him after all this time?
This here is the delusion of women. That they can never understand that there are consequences to actions. Any consequences, right? Whether it's good or bad, but there will be consequences to things you make. There's ripples, right? An action you make will affect your future. That's why it's called accountability. To know that you made those actions. You did it yourself. You left a good man that wanted to marry you because you were unsure. You felt you're too young to settle down. You were unsure about if you want to be with him for the rest of your life. Fine. Which is in your right. And then you're surprised that later on you're having difficulties of finding men to commit. It's the hypocrisy that at one time in your life, you weren't a child, right? So at one time in your life, you didn't want commitment. You didn't want marriage. Yet now that you're older, right? That's when you want commitment in relationships. Women are deluded in thinking that things will always happen when they want them to. It's ridiculous that you think that, right? You cannot predict the future, and you cannot necessarily make things happen on your time schedule. You should have, like I've said before, if marriage and family is your focus, is what you want in life, then make that a focus. Make that a goal. Be single-minded in it. Do it as early as possible. Now, if career and independence is your goal, then fine. Do that early as possible and continue doing it. But it's ridiculous that people think that they can have it all. They can have a career when they want, and they can have a husband and family when they want. It's especially women. When I hate how society always say you don't have a time schedule. Oh, at 40, you're not old. You're still young. Really? Because at 40, fertility-wise, it's pretty shot, right? So youth-wise for women is fertility. It's equal to fertility in most cases. So it's ridiculous. Plus, you think with this, as you get older, you only get more attitude, more jaded, more, combative, more aggressive, just more into your own way of thinking. So for women to think that they have value throughout their life, at least dating marketplace value throughout their life, that's ridiculous. It's a sad reality, but it's a reality nonetheless. As women get older, their value goes down. It doesn't go up. Now, as men get older, their value go up. And why? Women, their value is mainly suited in their beauty, their youth, their fertility, and their personality and attitude. Men, it's their success, their ability to provide. So as men grow older, usually their money or, job status or whatever gets better with age. So that's why it's ridiculous that we always trying to combat nature or combat how society is. It's reality. Live with it. Live in reality. But no, we think we want to fight reality. We think we want to be blinded, right, by how reality works, how society is. And this is not the thing where it's a detriment to women, where women think like this. My advice to this type of woman is that, you know what? Yeah, lower your standards, but be what men would want. More feminine, more submissive, more agreeable, more understanding, more loving. And look for men that you think, because sometimes women say they don't have no standards, but subconsciously they do. Like they have no standards, but they would look at a 6-foot man more, more sexually, or they want, their eyes will look at a man that's 6 foot more attentively, shit like that, right? So look for the geeks, look for the the guy who's not necessarily physically attractive, right, but personality wise attractive, maybe morally attractive, things like that. That's why I would say to women like this, where go outside of your circle, right, outside of your comfort zone and what you choose as a partner. Look for something different. Hopefully you find a person with more importance and moral and characters, right? Someone with hobbies, someone that that's just different.